Yes, guys, welcome back to Cossy's Arsenal podcast. My name is Cossy. We are back again. Arsenal 0, Chelsea 2 is finally done. It was at the Emirates Stadium. My prediction was Chelsea 3, Arsenal 1. And I told you, stop being deluded. I'm going to say this again. Stop being deluded. You know, there's a very big difference between being optimistic and deluded. With optimistic, you have a reason. If you are optimistic that Arsenal could beat Chelsea, let me know in the comments below. If you thought Arsenal would beat Chelsea, I'm not saying you were deluded, but there was no reason. Absolutely no reason. This is your match reaction. Arsenal 0, Chelsea 2, Chelsea away from home. An absolute banger. Average performance from Arsenal. No player, for me, there is no player that goes away with this. No player can actually go away with it. Chelsea, Romelu Lukaku, what a man. What a player. Romelu Lukaku, Mason Mount, Reece James. I think they were absolutely class. Believe me or not, Chelsea deserved the 3 points without a doubt. And Arsenal, it should have been 5-0. It should have been 6-1. It should have been 6-2. It should have been 7-2. Maybe Arsenal got what they deserved. What is your reaction? What do you think about this game? Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. Here we go. Right then, lads, welcome back to the channel. We are back again with another match reaction, and this time I'm not gonna keep quiet. You know, in the last time we played against Brentford, we lost the first game, and I kept quiet. I just kept quiet. I just felt like I don't want to say anything, and I kept quiet, and everything was swept under the carpet. This time, I'm not in the mood to keep quiet. It's an absolute bismal. It's absolute rubbish. It's absolute nonsense. But the question is still, we have lost 2 games at the beginning of the season. Where do we begin to correct the mess? That's a big question. Is it the manager? You let me know in the comments. Is it the manager? Is it the players? Because if you look at the ratings of these men on SofaScore, you're gonna cry. You are gonna cry. If you look at the ratings, and I don't know, because I don't believe SofaScore that much. They have given 7.4 to Pablo Mari. Pablo Mari, absolutely a disgrace in this game. Disgraced by Romelu Lukaku. Absolutely. I can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times when Romelu Lukaku took Pablo Mari to school. That was an absolute stinker, Pablo. That was one of the performances I've ever seen from you, bro. That was negative. Like, really negative. Rob Holding, Cedric Soares, non-existing. Tierney, after now getting an injury, I don't know what. I really don't know what's going on, but that was really bad. That was really, really bad. An absolute disgrace of a performance. Let me start off with this, guys. There is no player absolutely on this page. There is no player in that team that deserves anything like credit. No player. Yeah, I've seen a couple of players that were outstanding. I think ESR was outstanding, definitely. I think it was outstanding. I think Aubusam Lokonga was outstanding. But I'm not giving anyone credit this time. We know against Brentford, we said it was Tierney and Emile Smith-Rowe. They played well. This time, I'm not giving any player any credit. They were absolutely shit. Chelsea played Arsenal right from minute 1 to minute 90. Right from minute 1 to minute 90. If they added more minutes in that game, could have been 4-0, could have been 5-0. Chelsea was so good, Arsenal were too bad. And this is one of the things I do not get me from Mikel Arteta. One is we were so open against Chelsea. We opened up ourselves. We were so open. Chelsea were, were walking through, through our midfield, just like they were moving through, empty space, non-existent. The only player that played in that game, in that midfield, was Albert Sambi. Guys, the only player I saw trying to stand off Chelsea. He's the only player that I saw trying to stand Chelsea off, trying to stop Chelsea in the midfield. He has a yellow card. He has a yellow card. Xhaka doesn't have a yellow card, and he should be having a yellow card. Definitely, he should be having a yellow card, because if you look at the rate at which Mason Mount, Romelu Lukaku, Mason Mount has an 8.0 rating, 8 out of 10 rating in that game. Romelu Lukaku has a 7.8 rating in that game. Scored an absolute disgrace of the goal in the for the first goal, and even the second goal that should have been in a second goal, Leno making a brilliant save. That was another disgrace, because Rob Holding is standing right in front of him, and he has a free header. He's pointing, put it here, and the ball is placed in that position, and the Arsenal defense is absolutely asleep. So let's start off with the first goal, because let's go step by step. The first goal. I don't know what Pablo Mari is doing. This is not the first time he's doing it. He's defending a striker, and he's defending a striker behind the striker. Like, the striker is in front of the defender. And Pablo Mari, what is he trying to do? I mean, I did have that picture. I don't think I have it anymore. I don't think I have it anymore. I don't get what Pablo Mari is trying to do while defending Romelu Lukaku, because if he's gone, pull him down. We will understand. So what he's trying to do is he's trying to battle with a striker that is physically stronger than him. Definitely, you're gonna lose the battle. You're gonna lose the battle. The only way we could have defended Romelu Lukaku. Don't let the ball get to him, and that is what we did. That is what we've done all 90 minutes. We've let Romelu Lukaku run into space. We've let Romelu Lukaku step over defenders. We've let Chelsea have a laugh at the Emirates Stadium. It never felt at one point in time, not even at one point in time, that we were at home. It never felt like that. A few times we had the ball, it didn't count. Our press was so poor. We'll talk about the press later. We'll talk about the quality of the attack later, because it wasn't there this time. At times we've been crying, oh, the attack is so bad. This time, it was absolutely non-existent. I think the kind of football we play today has never existed in the books of the world. Never existed. It makes sense to lose to Chelsea. They are the world champions. They are European champions. Sorry, and they are so good. Their quality is 100 times better than ours. But there are things I thought were easy to see. There are things I thought were predictable. Romelu Lukaku and his quality. Who'd say Arsenal isn't scared of Romelu Lukaku? We had to be scared of Romelu Lukaku, and I was personally scared of Romelu Lukaku. But putting Romelu Lukaku in front of Pablo Mari, with the nonsense that Pablo Mari did today, at halftime, Lukaku is absolutely destroying us. And Mikel was like, you know what? I'm going to sit back. He's destroying us. Things will change. We needed a change at halftime. It was not working out. We needed something at halftime. Things were not working out. And you know what? Nothing changed. Absolutely nothing changed. It was more, of the same old Arsenal. Let's hope something changed. Absolutely disgusting. Absolutely disgusting performance. And this is where I bring in Mikel Arteta. This is where I bring in Mikel. I think, honestly, with the lineup selection, whoever's, I mean, a couple of people are gonna blame Mikel Arteta for the lineup selection. There was little, and throughout the season, there is little Mikel is going to do. Absolutely, there is little he's gonna do about the lineup selection. What is he gonna do? What is he gonna, select Robert Lewandowski? Is he gonna select? There is little. Martin Odegaard doesn't change that game. Honestly, he doesn't. You bring him on, he doesn't. Ramsdale, there's no change. Nuno Tavares doesn't change the game. Among all the signings that we have made, none of the no signing improves that game. If you brought in anyone, even if it's the Brentford game, none of them improves the game. So it goes back to the question: is Mikel Arteta wrong to choose these men? He's absolutely not wrong. I think he chose the best starting 11. Even today, against Brentford in the first game, he chose the best 11. Even today, I think he chose the strongest 11. That's it. He never wanted to rush Aubameyang back. Things are understandable. He was suffering from COVID. So give him some time to rest. We know how COVID makes you tired and things like that. Unless they were lying. But if they were not lying, the reasons why Aubameyang starts from the bench are understandable. And the work rate of Aubameyang is absolutely useless in that game. Absolutely useless. But my problem with Mikel Arteta is the way we approached this game was a total set of nonsense. A total set of nonsense. Chelsea is better than us in terms of midfield, defense, attack, even the goalkeeper. Let me tell you something. The Chelsea goalkeeper, I don't know how many points I've got by including him in my FPL. I haven't checked yet, but he is my number one goalkeeper this season in my fantasy Premier League team, and he's kept 2 clean sheets now for me. That's it, right? That's it. Mendy is my is my FPL goalkeeper. So we are playing a club that is better than us, and we played them against, like we were playing against Brentford. We had no plan. We had no respect for them. I thought we would play a 3-5-2 or probably a 3-4-3 because that gives you numbers defensive wise. We were absolutely flat. It's like we're playing Burnley. Whenever Chelsea got the ball from their side, within seconds, they were right on our centre backs. And that's why Pablo Mari and Robert, look, I blame them. They're not good enough. There's no question about that. But that's the reason as why they fouled a lot. That's the reason as to why they messed up a lot, because there was no shoot. The only player who tried to stop that attack was Abasambi Lokonga. And don't blame him. Come on, don't blame Abasambi Lokonga. Look at the quality of players, Jorginho, Mason Mount, and Kovacic, and look at the quality of they are produced today. 3 players against 1. It was 3 against 1 in the midfield. Don't tell me about Emile Smith-Rowe. I don't care. I think Abasambi Lokonga is the one man I'm gonna give credit to in that game. Big up Albert. I think you had a good game. But Mikel, this one is 0 out of 10. 0 out of 10 for Mikel Arteta. You can't stand up against Chelsea. You can't, put your players out there to dry against Chelsea like you don't know what's gonna happen. Absolutely 0 out of 10. 0 out of 10. So if you look at the statistics in this game, Arsenal had a 35% ball possession. Chelsea had 65. That speaks volumes. So that means you do not have the ball. You're playing without the ball. You can't just spread out like with Manchester City having the lion's share of possession. But what we did is Smith-Rowe was playing too high the pitch. You had the likes of Pepe playing too high. You had the likes of Martinelli playing too high. It was easy for Chelsea to absolutely exploit us. And that's what they did. They had 22 shots on goal. 22 shots. And Romelu Lukaku alone had 8 shots on target. Now, look, Romelu Lukaku had more shots than Arsenal per in the 90 minutes, because Romelu Lukaku had 8 shots on goal and we had 6. Get me? We had 6 shots on goal. Romelu Lukaku as a player had 8 shots on goal. So that means Romelu Lukaku, if it was 100% conversion, Lukaku would have won the game for Chelsea against Arsenal. That's what it means. They had 5 shots on target. We had 3. They had 6 shots off target. We had 2 block shots. 11. I should let you see this. I should let you see this. Shouldn't be very, very selfish, should I? Right. So there we go. Big chances created. Arsenal created 1 big chance. 1 big chance. And we missed it. Chelsea created 5 big chances and they missed 3 big chances. One of them being that Romelu. I think Chelsea, okay, it should have been around 4, right? Should have been around 4, because the Romelu Lukaku header, and big up Leno. For me, he's one of the best players in the game. He kept us in the game. Honestly, I'll give him player rating 7 if I'm to do player ratings, of which I'm going to do them. So I'll give him 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10. Leno, beautiful serve against Romelu Lukaku. But our problem is creativity. We enter into a transfer market with our problem as creativity. And look, we are creating 1 chance per 90. 1 chance. How many are we going to score? We've gone 2 games without scoring a goal at the beginning of the season for the first time in our lives. If you look at the table, Arsenal are fucking 19th on the table with a goal difference of fucking -4. That is, how am I supposed to react to this? Like, how am I supposed to react to this? That's why on the Brentford game, I was like, you know what, Cossy? Fucking shut up. There's nothing you're going to say. Shut up. And now it doesn't make sense, really, because Arsenal is 19th, right? Now, look, it's only the beginning of the season. It's only the beginning of the season, right? I agree. It's only the beginning of the season. We've not scored a goal. We've not got a point. We are absolutely in the negative zone. We are in the negative zone. If anyone tells me, cause it's only the beginning of the season, I'm slapping them. I'm slapping you. If you tell me it's only the beginning of the season, I'm slapping you. So, what is the difference between the Arsenal that started the season last season and the Arsenal that actually started the season this season? It's the same squad, it's the same manager, and we have the same league position in the table. Because last season we were around 15th and 11th until we finished when 8th. You remember? But it's disgraceful that we have played Brentford. Where's Brentford? Come on, bro. They collected the point. They collected the point against Crystal Palace. Brentford as fucking 7th. Look, okay, we've lost against Chelsea. We should be fucking 7th because it takes 1 point. It takes 1 point and 0 goals, okay? Because they have a 0 goal difference. So it takes 1 point and a 0 goal difference to be among the top 10. So if you're telling me because it's only the beginning of the season, tell that to Brentford. You know Brentford, it's still the beginning of the season. Look at Chelsea. Chelsea have a goal difference of 5 goals, right? A goal difference of 5. They have Liverpool have a goal difference of 5, both tied to 6 points as well. Brighton, Spurs, United have actually fucked up, but they're still way miles better than us. So don't start speaking about United. If you look at Spurs, they played 2 games now against Manchester City and against Wolves. And I'm going to tell you something. Spurs were absolutely disgraceful in terms of play, in terms of display in both games. I watched the Wolves game 90. They were absolutely disgraceful. Like, Wolves should have won that game if not for Adama being the fucking Adama he is. Wolves is winning that game 3-1. But Chelsea, but Tottenham, they get a penalty through Dele Alli. They're very calm. It's 90 minutes. They win it. It's the same thing that happened against Manchester City. Manchester City absolutely dominated the game. They're calm. They get a goal through Son. They win the game. They have fucking 6 points. They have 6 points because they have a manager who has a philosophy and we do not. That is my problem with Arsenal. We had 331 passes in that game. We had 261 accurate passes. Our passing accuracy is only 79%. And I think that is not that is really not to a surprise for me, because when I was watching that game, I asked myself a question. Do these men know what it takes to pass the ball in the right direction? So many blind passes right from last season. So many wrong things being done right from last season. What exactly are we doing? Where exactly are we going? That is my big question. The statistics are very clear, both in the Brentford and the Chelsea game. Arsenal need creativity, but before we get creativity, we need to hold the ball. We need someone who can set the pace. We need someone around whom we can play the ball. Yes, maybe Martin Odegaard can, but we had chance of time to side in a number 8. We had chance of time to get in a central midfielder. We failed and gave Granit Xhaka a new contract. Let me tell you, people, I'm gonna say this. I don't know how many people believe me or agree with me. Granit Xhaka, for me, in the Arsenal side, is absolutely useless. For a central midfielder, if we are going to use him as a central midfielder, Xhaka is useless. You better play him at left back, because he also enjoys playing there. Maybe, but as a central midfielder, Xhaka is useless. I'll take Fred. I'll take Scott McTominay 100 times over Granit Xhaka. I'm telling you for facts. Because when I have Scott McTominay, I have someone who has a clear role, and I know what I get out of Scott McTominay. When I get Fred, I know I have someone who distributes the ball. Manchester United fans will say, we don't like Fred. We don't like Mark Fred. Yeah, it's understandable because their club is a big club and their ambitions are big. So it's understandable. But for Arsenal, I will take Fred. I would take Fred, definitely. I would take him. Guys, this is unbelievable. This is a fucking disgrace. Arsenal needs to do better than this. No question about it. Arsenal needs to do better than that. That is disgraceful. Disgraceful. And you feel the character of the fans are back in the pitch, and you feel them singing. The cameras record the fans singing and raising, the spirits of these players. But it's so hard. The players lack the character. They lack the direction. I think the manager is got to give us some good questions, and we're gonna do the press. I will do the press conference reaction. So someone, Dennis was telling me, Cossy, will you do another video? I will do videos. Come on, I'll do videos for the channel. It's the channel. It's not Arsenal. It's the channel, right? So, look, we need a number 8 as soon as possible. We can't keep having a player in Granit Xhaka that literally rotates around that circle and does nothing. If I asked you, what did Jorginho do in this game? Many of you are gonna tell me, well, we didn't see Jorginho. We didn't realize Jorginho was in. But at least you saw Kovacic. You saw Kovacic. Kovacic absolutely dominated that game, and that is what a number 8 does. Even if they don't run a lot, even if they don't shoot a lot, like Kovacic, mere distribution of the ball for me is just enough. It's just enough, and Xhaka doesn't do that. Smith Rowe has to run miles and miles, from deep to far with the ball because he doesn't have a number 8. That is the responsibility of a box to box, because we don't have a box to box and we are playing, we are using Xhaka in that area. It's like we are in a hunger of creativity, and the creativity, the drought of chances is caused by Granit Xhaka. You need a better 8. You need a better number 8. You need someone who can come closer to the 18-yard box. You need someone who can you can shoot. I was surprised if you look at Everton in the first game. Abdoulaye Doucouré, he's not a number 8, he's a 6. Look at the goal he scored. Look at that goal he scored, and look at how advanced Abdoulaye Doucouré gets, in games. It's for me, it's wonderful. It's absolutely wonderful. So if players like Xhaka are still playing for Arsenal Football Club, I don't expect anything. Honestly, I absolutely don't expect anything. And you shouldn't be, you shouldn't be expecting anything either. Absolutely. Bas says, I'm not surprised if Arsenal loses to Chelsea, because no one is surprised. No one is surprised. But for me, what surprises me is the manner in which we lose to Chelsea. They're very different. They're absolutely very different. Because if we lose to Chelsea 3-0, and we played and we had five big chances and we missed them, it would be a very different story. I'll be like, why didn't we score? But Chelsea dominating us like a P2 side, I'm not buying that. Absolutely not buying that. Arteta backed. Now we have the results. Bro, we didn't even play any of the players. He bought besides Lokonga, and he played well. Who did you want to play? I think Nuno Tavares played. I think Tavares played, and I said he played well. I think Aaron Ramsdale is not going to play unless Leno is injured. Ben White has COVID. We say that, and Martin Odegaard as well. And Martin Odegaard as well was not registered. But look, they don't change that. They don't change that result. Ben White doesn't stop Lukaku because he can't stop Ivan Toney. Right? He doesn't. And I'm not trolling him because I think he's a decent center back with a lot of potential, but he doesn't change that result. Arsenal lineup was so wrong. The lineup was fine. Guys, let's be honest. The lineup was fine. Unless if you wanted, who did you want to see? The lineup was okay for me. The lineup was fine. Albert says, Cossy, we are talking about players, but what about manager Arteta? Isn't that good a big problem in Arsenal? He has to leave as well. That's how bad. Arsenal's training sessions are not intensive enough, and their drilling is poor, and it's certainly showing in our matches. I think Arteta and his management team are over pampering these players. Where is Gabriel Magalhaes, Ben White, Lacazette, and Aubameyang, and Thomas Partey? It's according to Ahmed. But if you've been following the medical reports, those players, at least we know where those players are. Dennis, that is Dennis. Cossy, Arsenal had only 2 midfielders today, Abasami Lokonga and Smith Rowe. Xhaka did not do any left wing coverage. It's one thing I've always said, and I think I'll say it every time we play and every time we lose a game. I think I'll say it. Arsenal have a problem, and the problem is Granit Xhaka. If we do not get a good central midfielder, we're gonna, we are still gonna suffer more and more and more. We didn't buy the right players. This is going to Nalo. I think for the project we want to do, we bought the right players. We bought the right players, but do we have the right manager to take on that? To take on the project? Then that's another big question. We need high quality players. We actually need quality players. No cap. That's according to Joshua. Okay. Arteta is not taking Arsenal anywhere. No game plan at all. Okay. Alex says we don't have best players, or our players are just average. Eric says Lokonga is good, but Xhaka and Pepe. Look, I've always thought this is gonna be Pepe's season. That is what I've always thought. I thought it was always gonna be Pepe's season, but I think I might look. I think he might light up. He might light up a little bit, but he needs to do that faster. Honestly, he needs to do that faster. What is Arteta game plan and his blueprint? I don't understand Mikel Arteta. What he's trying to do is my problem. What exactly does he want to do? Because for many managers, whether they are new or not, at least you know what they're trying to do. But with Mikel, I just can't try to understand what he's trying to do as a manager. It took Thomas Tuchel 5 months to get his rhythm. And Mikel has been in charge for 18 months and still, showing us, Okay. Chelsea won and still they buy, quality players. Arsenal no cap, and we're not buying better players. Why? That's according to Nalo. Okay. I'm not here to answer questions though. Official, Tobaza Gracious Official says we look like we had no game plan, no tactics, and it's not the first time. It's not the first time. If you say we look like we had no game time and no tactics, no game plan and no tactics, it's not the first time. Arsenal's always been like that, right? Arsenal's always been like that. You have no game plan, we have no tactics. In the end, we lose and okay, and one of my problems is also the fans as well. Absolutely, one of my problems is the fans, but I don't want to go to the fans right now. Really, don't want to. Arsenal is going to go 4 games without a point. These are going to Timothy. I mean, the next game is Manchester City, so it's highly probable that we shall go without points. Arsenal need to chase Mikel. Our next game is Man City. Can we? This are going to Nalo. After City, we are going to be in 20th. I mean, we are 19th at the moment. We need quality players. Only that. This are going. Look, quality players need a manager. It's absolutely true. Quality players need a manager. You don't bring in quality players without a manager. Are they going to manage themselves? Which number are we going to end this season? Really don't ask me such a question, please. Please talk, Cossy, please talk about our next game. I want. During Wenger's period, the last position was 5, and Emery 6, Arteta 8. Better Emery. Emery was better than Mikel Arteta. All right. Link is in the comment section if you want to call in and have your thoughts as well. A lot of creativity put on ESR. Too much. I know. Arteta should go. Quincy, the link is in the chat. The link is in the chat, Quincy, if you want to have a chat. I think we still didn't learn anything from the preseason game against Chelsea. Some issues, defensive loopholes, lack of creativity. Sunday says Easter Sunday for Nigeria is Arsenal has long way to go. Okay, Kogo says hi Cossy. We are dead for sure. We are dead for sure. Please do correct your. I only blame Kroenke for not sacking Mikel Arteta. Why not Edu? Let Arteta leave our club as well. Good evening, Cossy man from Silarion. But tell me something about Coutinho. Right now, I'm stressed, sick, and tired with Croc. Why always Arsenal? What should I tell you about Coutinho? I'm clueless. Why do you want me to talk about Coutinho? He didn't play in the game. If you want to know something about Coutinho, he didn't play today. He didn't play today. He didn't play. He didn't play. He wasn't in the Chelsea side and he wasn't in the Arsenal side as well. Cossy, I know. I knew we would lose it. Yeah, my prediction was a 3-1 for Chelsea. Elvis says, I'm so disappointed, Cossy. It's enough for Arteta. Enough is enough. All right. Ruben says, I don't know who has cast Arsenal. All right. I think one more loss would bring in Conte. Conte doesn't want to manage Arsenal. If I was Conte, I can't manage Arsenal, honestly. I can't. Nuno Tavares played well, but Aubameyang on the bench. Why? Come on, guys. You know why Aubameyang didn't play in this game. You know very well. I'm good boy from what's wrong with Lacazette. Lacazette has COVID. I would rather prefer Conte to be our next manager. But we do not have the money. We don't have the money to afford Conte. I think the way things are moving, we just need to lower our expectations as the fans. Perhaps should just play to maintain our Premier League status. I don't see ourselves winning anything. And look, I'm personally one of those people who do not expect Arsenal to win anything. So if you're telling me to lower my expectations, I don't know to where. Because I don't expect Arsenal to win anything. So lowering my expectations means what? I don't know. Manchester City is going to disgrace Arsenal. Conte in. Xhaka is very useless to Arsenal team. Cossy, Arteta needs to bench Leno for some month. Maybe he will recover. What? Look, guys. Let's be honest. Mustafa, if you're on, because your comment is one of the ladies. What did Leno do wrong in that game? The first goal, it's not his fault. The second goal, it is not his fault. What did Leno do? Blame people who need to take the blame. I think Pablo Mari needs to take the blame because it was absolutely shit, like total shit in that game. Xhaka was total shit. No question about that. Total shit. So let's blame the players that need to take the blame. Leave Leno alone, guys. Leave Leno alone. Distribution was bad. It's according to MAB. Distribution was bad. Come on, these players. Don't start blaming Leno if you're talking about Leno. The link is in the comment section, Quincy. The link is in the comment section. Anyone who wants to call in, the link is there. Call in if you want to have your say. Because we need more quality players. I've been singing that all summer. Check out the video. Check out the channel. It has more than 300 videos in the last 2 months. So we've been speaking about that whole summer. And nothing has changed. Because I thought Arteta could use 3 defenders, but just like your predicted lineup yesterday, with Niles and Tavares in the wing back, but everything was now MS. Yeah, playing a back 4 against Chelsea didn't really work for us. It didn't really help us. I don't think, I don't think it was a smart move, honestly. I don't think it was a smart move. I think there was a bit of an improved side from the Brentford game, but Chelsea was far a better side. Pablo was still very poor. Our midfield was just shit. There's no improvement. If you're trying to, if we can try to sugarcoat, there's no improvement. Honestly, we can't sugarcoat. Because is it true that Arteta exit has been confirmed? You can tell us maybe where you got that, but at the moment, I haven't seen it anywhere. I haven't seen it anywhere. Unless you can tell us where you saw it. Yeah, unless you can tell us where you saw it. Okay. Hello, how are you doing, Quincy?
Yeah. I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm absolutely fine.
Yeah, I'm here to talk about a result between Arsenal versus Chelsea. It's very disappointing result. Obviously, I'm an Arsenal fan. I think Chelsea took their foot off their gas in the second half. If they really wanted to score more goals, they could have. In the second half, they decided, you know what? Let's take out. They were in third gear. Out of six gears, Chelsea was in third gear. In the second half, they didn't really feel the need to step up a gear or step up a level against the Arsenal team. So Arsenal is at this rate. I don't think we're going to finish in the top half of the table. And I'm looking at the players. We didn't even create one clear cut chance. The
Yeah.
first draw chance we created was a long ball by Leno to Martinelli. That was the first, and that was a long ball from a goalkeeper. Arsenal, the players there should be in the second team. They should be bench or squad players. They shouldn't be in that first 11. A lot of them are too young. They have no experience at the top level. Amos Smith Rowe has never played a full season before in the Premier League. Neither has Lokonga. Neither has Martinelli. They've been, Arsenal are in big danger. And I think we need to be careful with Ramsdale coming in, a player who's been relegated twice. We should be signing winners. Now, Arsenal are in big trouble because the teams that were behind us, the likes of Wolves, Aston Villa, Everton, they have much better coaches and better players than us.
Yeah.
And if you take Aubameyang and Lacazette out of the team, I don't see where goals are going to come from. I think I would have preferred to see both Lacazette and Aubameyang playing in the team because even though they're not in the mood to score goals, at least the Chelsea players would have respected them enough to back off because Aubameyang and Lacazette's name carry a lot of weight. And then the young players can learn from them. The Arsenal team, the players are too young. A lot of the players are too young, inexperienced, and then the manager himself is
It's too
inexperienced.
young.
The manager himself has no experience at the top level. So
Yeah.
Arsenal is basically an experiment. And if we're not, I don't think we're going to finish in the top 8 this season. We're not good enough to finish in the top 8. And if we do finish outside the top 8, then Arteta obviously needs to go. If we're not in contention for a Europe place in by maybe in 10 games, Arteta will obviously get sacked. In fact, the Arsenal board have started speaking to Conte behind closed doors.
No, it's not
But
true.
even with
It's
Conte,
not
no,
true.
I'll give you more info on that. Even if Conte comes in, with the players we got, he still wouldn't be able to do any better than Arteta. It will be the same thing. So the
Yeah.
problem is not necessarily the manager. The problem is the players themselves. Because surely Unai Emery, one of the best coaches in the world, if he couldn't win anything with them, yeah, he's won every single trophy every single club he's been in
Yeah.
terms of European and league titles. Then there's a big problem at Arsenal, and it's worrying. I've been supporting Arsenal since 2004. And this Arsenal team is so poor, so substandard. Xhaka was not the only poor player. Murray was worse than Xhaka.
Yeah, absolutely.
Murray was worse than Tierney and Saka on the left
You,
wing.
you know,
No. Tierney and
you know
Saka on
what,
the left wing were very bad today
you know what I
because
think, you know
Chelsea's
what I
two
think,
goals came from
you
the
know what,
left hand side.
you know, I think Xhaka was even poorer than Murray because you could see Murray being, stepped over by Lukaku. You didn't see Xhaka anywhere. Like he was just hiding. He was taking it up. And that's why I'll give some respect to Pablo Mari. I'll give him
No,
a 2 out of 10. I'll
no,
give Jack a 0.
no. Xhaka defended. He took a ball to the head today. I don't know if you saw that part.
Yeah,
He was
I
behind.
saw that. I
Yeah,
saw that.
let me finish.
In nine,
If you
in
look
nine,
at no, it's the from is Arteta's tactics was a problem. It was bad today because if you look at the central midfield of Xhaka and Lokonga, they weren't narrow. They were near the fullbacks. So there was literally no one playing centre mid or defensive mid today. That is the reason why Lokonga and Xhaka look a lot poorer than they should. At the same time, Arsenal created nothing. Pepe was very poor. £72 million for Pepe. I mean, what's going on? The Arsenal Pepe was very, very, very poor. And Tierney and Saka on the left-hand side were very poor today. In fact, the two Chelsea goals came down Tierney's side. Tierney was poor defensively today. So it's not just Xhaka. A lot of players were very, very poor.
Yeah,
In fact, Arsenal's best players were Leno and Lokonga. And maybe Cedric was doing okay, all right. At least no goals came from the right side. Leno and Lokonga did good. You know, Smith Rowe was trying, but he wasn't linking that play. Martinelli never touched the ball when he was playing striker. That's how bad it is. So, bro, this is the worst Arsenal team I've ever seen since 2004. And with the quality of players we have, even if Gabriel, Partey, and the others come back, we are not finishing in the top 8. No way. We are not good enough.
Look, I think one, it's a bad start. It's a bad start. And if you look at the fixtures that we have, you know, they're also bad fixtures for a start for a team like Arsenal that is really, really bad. You have, you know, City, you have Chelsea again, then you have Spurs coming up, up somewhere there. But I think my problem is not the players, because I don't know, their project or something. My problem is a manager. My problem is a manager that cannot find a philosophy, an identity of football. Like, what exactly do we play? What exactly are we? What exactly do we produce on the pitch? That's my problem. That's one of the problems that are going to hurt us this season. It did last season, and we lost so many games because whenever you play a club that has its own identity, they're going to beat you with it, because they know what to do, and they do it, they practice it, you know, each and every time. That is that's the biggest problem. And the other is we do not have a number 8. So look, I don't know, but I think for me, Xhaka is not the kind of 8 we need. Not the kind of player that Arsenal should be using as a central midfielder. The box to box he doesn't do that role. The box to box, then he doesn't. I don't feel him as a big, defensive force. He's not a big force going forward. It's just a mess. It's just a mess.
It's a mess, but yeah. It's a mess, but Xhaka is not the only mess though. There's at least 4, 5, 6 players that are playing today who were a mess.
Yeah, not only 6. I think for me it's only Lokonga. I'll give Leno some credit, but I think Leno and Lokonga, the rest were a mess. Yeah, the rest were a mess. In that game, Saka was a mess. Smith Rowe. I don't know what exactly Smith Rowe is going to become. He looks a very, very lively and good player, but he either needs to be more specific. Like, if it's gonna be a 10, let him do the 10 role. Do the risks, take the chances. I loved the shot he took at the beginning of the game. That was a very great shot. Not so strong, but a lively start. And I think Emu Smith Rowe. Those are the 3 I can say okay a little bit, but the rest of the team, they suck. They absolutely suck. What do you have to say, bro? Are you there?
Hello?
Yes, are you there?
Yeah, sorry about that. How are you?
I'm fine, how are you?
Yeah, not very good. I think Tierney had a very bad game today because his positioning was off for both of the goals. I think Xhaka should not be captain after what he's done in the past. And I think a priority is to sign a right back, and we still haven't done it yet.
Yeah.
Because Cedric, I don't know what's happening with him, but Chambers, he's just too inconsistent. All our right backs are inconsistent, and we need to get a right back in before the window ends.
Yeah.
And then Holding also, I don't know how he missed that header. Did you see that?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, he should have scored that. Oh, man.
But I've seen. I mean, the truth is, Rob Holding and his quality shouldn't be playing our ass now. Honestly, shouldn't be playing our ass now.
Yeah.
There's, I was listening to. You know what? You know what? Is it this Arsenal legend Graham? You know, you know what he
Yeah,
said? Graham. Um, he was asked about what he thinks about Rob Holding starting ahead of Ben White, because Ben White is unwell, and he said,
yeah.
"Oh, I'm a big fan of Rob Holding. I
Oh
think
no.
with Pablo Mari, they can hold off Romelu Lukaku." And it's like, okay, realistically, if it's not because of TV, there's no way I'm buying this. There's absolutely no way I'm. No, there's no,
Yeah,
there's no way there's no way I'm buying this. But do you think we have hope? Do you think we have hope? Do you
no
think we have
chance.
some hope?
No chance until we sack the manager, to be honest, because the manager's clueless. And the thing
Yeah,
is, we got him when he had no experience. Like this is
yeah,
what we're gonna expect. And I think until we sack him, we're not gonna progress.
yeah, absolutely. How are you doing, Glenn?
Is that a joke question?
No, it's not a joke. It's not a joke. It's a genuine
You
question.
can just, you can just imagine when you're playing Chelsea and you have a birthday the very next day. It's just ruining. I'm used to this. Like they always ruin my birthday because you always play this kind of teams in the first two games. It was really that was men against boys. That is what that was. That was men against boys. Literally, I looked at the Arsenal team today. We would say Tierney would get into the Chelsea team, but from today's game, Alonso is basically almost man of the match. There is no way Tierney would get into that team ahead of
Yeah,
Alonso. So
yeah, yeah.
literally the whole squad, man, the whole team. Listen, I do agree with everyone. I think Arteta's tactics were shocking, especially the last few 2 3 months. It was very shocking since our preseason, very very shocking. But even looking at the players, we are bringing on the likes of Nelson and Kolasinac from the bench. They are bringing in a World Cup winner in N'Golo Conte. We literally need like 7 8 players to compete. We are very
Yeah.
far away from competing with Chelsea. We are currently in 19th position and we have City next. What will change? Nothing. City scored 2 goals, and I'm pretty sure Tuchel told them, you know what? We have Liverpool next. Just relax. Just pass the
Relax.
ball.
Yeah.
City will not do that next week. City will score 6 or 7 against you. De Bruyne will be fit. Grealish will be there. Sterling will be there. I mean, how many goals will they score against us? I said in this game I wanted a back five. It's very simple. Just play whatever was working for you. I do not care what's going to be in the back five, whether it's going to be Chambers in the middle or Tierney in the middle, because Tierney was very exposed on that left side again. Now we are making Tierney look like a bad player. If someone watches that game, if someone watches football for the first time today, they will think Tierney is a very bad player. He was bombing forward way too much and then leaving so much spaces. And I don't think Pablo Mari will ever forget today. Pablo Mari will never. Pablo Mari, every time Pablo Mari will be sleeping, he'll be seeing Lukaku in his nightmares. He
That
bullied. That
that
is the
was
kind.
you know I didn't get a chance to be bullied in school. I know what
Yeah,
bullying means now. I know what bullying means. You know,
yeah. What is that?
whenever Lukaku got the ball, Pablo Mari was holding him somewhere, and he got away. You know,
Yeah,
it's
Yeah.
it was a disgrace, like an
embarrassing.
absolute disgrace, embarrassing.
And he did an interview. Lukaku did an interview with Jamie Carragher a few years back, and he told Carragher, "The moment I have the ball and I just hold you like this, you can never take the ball away from me." It's simple as that. I'm pretty sure. Okay, it's not Arsenal that you're going to surf on and Lukaku. I think he'll score 20 plus goals. I think he'll destroy a lot of defenders, but he will tell the difference next week. He cannot do that to Van Dijk next week. You
Yeah,
will see the
yeah,
difference. But for us,
yeah.
Pablo Mari, and I actually agree with you. I heard you say in one of your shows like 3 or 4 days ago that Pablo Mari is becoming a bit, you're starting to think twice about Pablo Mari. I'm starting to feel the same way as well. Like a few games, like 70% of the games I've seen Pablo Mari in the last 10 games, it's not good enough. And why can't Holding head the ball on target for once, for goodness sake?
You know,
Every time it's off target, every
Exactly.
single time.
I want to ask you guys about the penalty incident. Good thing I have you on. That penalty incident. I felt like, because I had just watched the Manchester United game against Southampton, and Bruno is brought down, and the commentator actually says the referees the referees this season want the games to be a little bit more physical. So when I see Saka going down like that, I'm two way. I'm like, yes, as an Arsenal fan, it should be a penalty. Come on. But then I'm like, should it be a penalty anyway? I feel like it's so soft. What do you think about it, Quincy? Did you think it was a penalty?
Yes, it was a penalty, and Arsenal can you hear me?
Yeah, very well.
Yep, it was a penalty, and Arsenal should have had a penalty last week against Brentford as well. A foul on Balogun. That was a penalty as well. We should have had a penalty today simply because the Chelsea player ran into I think it was Saka, and he didn't get the ball. He didn't get if he ran into Saka whilst he got his foot on the ball, then it would not have been a penalty. But he went for the man, and he didn't get any touch on the ball. That is a clear penalty. We should have had a penalty last week. We should have had a penalty today. Now, I thought last week as well, there was against Brentford, there was a foul on Leno for the second goal for Brentford, where the Brentford player was holding him. So I think bad luck again is on Arsenal's side. And I think this is when we need our captain to step up. Whoever is captain needs to step up and go up to the ref to give the ref a piece of his mind. Even if he gets a yellow card, he should be willing to risk it. So referees know Arsenal are not a soft touch. The captain should demand, fouls be given, penalties to be given. And this is what none of our captains, whether Xhaka or Aubameyang, are doing that. None of them are captain material. None of them are demanding to the ref that our players need protection. Our players have been fouled in the box. We should have had 2 penalties. And if we had those 2 penalties, who knows? We could have probably had 6 points or at least 4 points. Or at least 1 point at the very least. If we had those 2 penalties, we could have had that 1 point from the result. And this is when I said the captain in the teams are not playing their role. You're not demanding things from the referee.
All right. What do you think? You think it was a penalty? And if you think if we got the penalty, would it have changed anything?
To be honest, I don't think it is a penalty because they came together. But I don't think it would have changed anything anyways because Chelsea, they were just controlling the whole game. Do you get what I mean? Like we didn't create any good chances. Like we're talking about a penalty. Like, do we create any clear-cut chances besides Rob Holding missing that header in the corner? Yeah. That's what I mean. Like the manager's not good enough, to be honest with you.
Yeah, Glenn. Yeah, what I thought. I mean, when I looked at it, because always the camera angle is a little bit far. At first, I was shout, "There's a penalty! Come on!" But then, brought closer. I'm like, it's a little bit unfair to the defender. I don't feel like it's a penalty, despite the fact that we are, we want to. What did you think? You thought it was a penalty?
Oh, it's definitely not a penalty for Arsenal. It's a penalty for United and any other team, but not Arsenal.
Yeah. Obviously,
it has to be taken to the mortuary for it to be a penalty. That's what needs to happen. Does he have a gun wound? Then it's not a penalty. So, okay, I wasn't 100% that it was a penalty. Like last week, as Cossy said, on Leno, that was definitely a foul. Even Chelsea, the preseason game, that was definitely a goal from Willock, but obviously they didn't give us. But today's game, I thought maybe 60% penalty, not 100%. You could see why I didn't give it, but it's always a bad thing because for us, it feels like it's every single game we don't get it. And man, in terms of changing the game, maybe in terms of putting them under pressure, when they concede the 1 goal, but that is a team that didn't concede against Real Madrid. They didn't concede against Atletico. They didn't concede against Man City. So I don't think it would put too much pressure on them, but it would have been a good thing for our confidence. The one thing I wanted us to do today is to score fast. I knew if Chelsea scored fast, Arsenal's heads just drop. So maybe that goal would have been a good thing in terms of lifting the confidence up, because when you go 2 games, 3 games, 4 games without scoring a goal, then they start looking at each other like, well, are we ever going to score a goal? So it's not good. It's not good. But I don't think it was 100% penalty. You've seen them given, but I agree with what you said as well. I think this season they've changed the rules. That's why Fernandes wasn't given a foul for the United game. So maybe 60% penalty, but I can see why they didn't give it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah, that's it. But our next game is Manchester City. It probably makes it 3. I don't know if you're gonna score against City, but it would probably make it 3 games without a point or without a win. The high chances are that we shall go 3. Yeah, and without a goal. Yeah, absolutely. And without a goal. I want Mikel Arteta out, honestly. But deep inside
Same.
me at this moment, I'm even afraid of sacking the manager because for me, I feel like it's gonna create more havoc if you sack, if you sack the manager at the moment. What do you think? What do you think, guys? If we lose against City, do you sack him? Do you keep him? I'll start with Quincy.
If we lose against Man City, it's not embarrassing to lose against City. They are the champions, right? So if we lose to
Yeah.
them, it depends on how many goals we lose to them. If we lose to them by maybe 2-0, 3-1, maybe even 3-0 is okay. But if we lose to them by 5-0, 6-0, 7-0, so it depends on how many goals. If we lose to them by 5, 6, 7, or then we have to sack him. So it depends on by how many goals we lose by. So Arsenal board have come out and said Arteta's job is on the line. He has to be in contention for a top 6 spot or European spot, or be playing a good brand of football. If he cannot achieve both of them, he will get sacked. So he knows that he's on a timeline. They've given him a time. He has to change things around, turn things around, or they will sack him.
All right. You think City, if Arsenal do not score, do not get a point,
Yeah.
you sack him. You sack him. You keep him.
To be honest, man, I would have sacked him before the start of the season because we came 8th. But now, like, the thing is, we bought 129. We spent 129 million dollars on players, and these is like Arteta's players. So even if we
Yeah.
lose, I think he should. If we lose to City, he should already be gone. But I think even if we lose to City, he's gonna be in the job because we spent 130 million on players, and the board's gonna be like, oh, it's only 3 games in, and they're gonna continue with the manager because we already invested so much in the team already.
Yeah,
I don't feel
absolutely.
like I don't think Arsenal will sack him personally until like maybe December. But I
Yeah.
want to sack right now, though. To be honest,
By the way, I feel the same way. I feel like to pull the plug to pull the plug because we don't have European football. It's gonna take a lot. It's gonna take a lot of time until December. If we are fighting 15th, 16th, which I think we're gonna be, if we lose against City and we drop into 20th, our next win could actually raise us until 17th. Then we shall start we shall start gambling 17th, 16th, 15th, around there until maybe January. Glenn, do you sack him, and does Martin Odegaard make us any better? Probably, if by including him into that side.
So I'll protect it at the 10% out of the 100%. What Emma said about him signing players, yes, he did, but only Lokonga was available and maybe Tavares from the bench. Yes, to be honest, he doesn't have the players today. We lack like 7 of our first team players. That is the truth. Aubameyang, Lacazette, Ben White, Tierney went off. I know Bat is not there. Gabriel is not there. So basically, this team is not good enough. That is why none of them can enter the Chelsea team. But I do agree the tactics are wrong. What I said, I wouldn't judge him for the Man City game, because if you want to sack him after he loses to Man City, you might as well sack him today, because we are not going to beat Man City. That I'm 100% sure. And I never predict Arsenal losses. I said the game today is going to end 2-2, but deep inside I knew Lukaku is going to be really, really dangerous. So I gave him the first 7 games, which was Brentford, Man City, Chelsea, then international break, then Norwich, Burnley, Crystal Palace, and Tottenham. I think those 7 teams. So I said from those 7 games, I wanted at least 3 wins and a draw. So 2 games already up. So from the 5 games remaining, I still need 3 wins and a draw, which means we can only lose to City now. But if we lose to City after the international break, I want a win against Norwich. I want a win against Burnley. I want a win against Tottenham at the Emirates Stadium and against Crystal Palace. We cannot lose another game until the international break. Do you know how painful it will be to lose this Man City game and then go into international break 2 weeks with Arsenal last on the table? Do you know how much banter we'll get for the 2 weeks?
that's
Last on
embarrassing.
the table. And
That's
Norwich are
actually
actually playing against Leicester next week, so it's very capable they could get a point and pass us. So if we go bottom of the table next week, it's going to be really painful. So I don't know. Odegaard, in terms of making a difference, maybe, maybe not. Odegaard was the other one who was missing from today as well. So maybe in terms of creativity, not against City. I don't even think we'll get the ball against City. Those are the kind of teams that yesterday I was watching City and Norwich. They had 96% possession. 96. And what's the difference between Arsenal and Norwich right now? Nothing. We are 19th, they are 20th. So we are basically like Norwich right now. So I cannot see us having more than 80% possession in that game. So I want us to play a back five. As Cossy has said, let us not lose 5-0, 6-0, because that is just embarrassing. Try and stay in the game. This thing, how many times do we see Arsenal conceding in the first 5 minutes against City? Since the Aguero days, the Toure days, first 5 minutes, 1-0 to City. Heads go down, 3-0 halftime, the game is over. Stay in the game at least for one half. If City score 1 or 2 in the second half, fine, you try. But this story of 5-0 in the first half, I do not want it. So I'm giving him the first 7 games. We've lost 2. So from City, Crystal Palace, Norwich, Burnley, and Tottenham, I want 3 wins and at least a draw. So basically, we can only lose the City game. But then from there, no more losses for the first 8 games. So that's my position on that.
I think we can lose to City, draw to Crystal Palace, beat Burnley.
No. We have to win. We have to win.
We have to win now. With each game, we have to win.
3 losses in a row. We have to win like at least.
No, it's gonna look. You know that is already confirmed. It's gonna be 3 losses in a row. Honestly, if you look at how Spurs beat City, they gave them a lot of respect, and just somehow they surprised City. We are not anywhere near to surprising anyone this season. I don't think we are not anywhere near. I'm just asking myself, is it gonna change? Is it going to change? You know, that's the question, and that's the question every Arsenal fan is asking. Can it change? Is it going to change? I think it might not change. We might be the same team.
You know what is more painful?
Yeah.
The 2 most painful things is not that we lost to Chelsea. Fine, Lukaku, as I said, is going to score 20 plus goals this season. But it's the fact that everyone knew Arsenal was going to lose, like Arsenal, Chelsea. I had that Bonlaho, Rio Ferdinand, Owen, Mark Goldridge, Robbie, everyone you wanted to mention, even Cossy himself said.
Don't say. I said we could get a point.
Every single your prediction yesterday said 3-1. Maybe you did say we could get a point. But literally everyone wasn't expecting it. That's the most painful thing.
I actually said Arsenal will score. I never wanted us to go 2 games in a row without a goal. So I said Arsenal 1, Chelsea 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to.
It didn't look like we were gonna score. And the second most painful thing is that, do you think next up, as you said with Crystal Palace, I'm pretty sure Vieira is now looking at the Arsenal team and he's like, we have to beat this Arsenal team. That's the most painful thing. Norwich and Burnley are looking at us and they're like, we have to get 3 points from this team.
Yeah,
like they will be disappointed if they don't get.
And the problem is this team is getting used to the feeling of we are okay with it. You don't see, you don't see that spirit of wanting to bounce back. You don't see them want to bounce back. We lost to Brentford. Today should have been something better. Like Arsenal lost, but they played well. We used to say those things, yeah. Against Brentford, against Brentford, we should have started right away. Like Arsenal, because we lost the pre-season games against Chelsea and Spurs, right?
Hibernian as well.
And Hibernian and draw against Rangers. Come on, Arsenal. And you don't see any spirit like Arsenal want to bounce back or Arsenal want to make amends for what they made. Like, okay, we shall go into the next game and see what happens. And when we lose the next game, we come into, we go into the next game like, oh, maybe we can win this. There is no that kind of feeling of, of a big club. I don't know. The leadership for me is not there. I don't see leaders in the leaders in that team. Yeah, people have said Xhaka stayed as a leader. I don't get it until now. How Xhaka is leading in that team. I don't get it until now. Like, I don't know what they mean that Xhaka is staying at Arsenal because he's a leader. I don't get it. So honestly, I don't know. Because even if you signed in 2 or 3 players, like if I brought in a James Madison and Lautaro Martinez in this team, it doesn't get better. I don't see it get better, honestly. It's like there is a level we have to lift ourselves to start performing, and we are below that level. You know,
Wait.
look at Everton. Their results. If you look at Everton and how they get their results, Everton are not so good. I mean, okay, how many players do I think are so good at Everton? I think I love Richarlison. I think I love Okore. I love Alan.
Calvert-Lewin?
I don't like his mode as a striker, but he's decent.
I think his heading ability would be getting way many goals with him.
Yeah, maybe that. Maybe that.
He would be a good option for Arsenal.
Yeah, maybe that from Kientini. But of course, I would love someone like Ole Watkins. I've already said it, very open. But look at Everton. They win the easy games. Like, we should be winning this, and they win it. We struggle per 90. We struggle every game. We struggle against every opponent we come against. I don't know what's wrong. I think there is that level of, there's that level of confidence that we have gone below, and we need to get back to that level of self-esteem. We've lost it. We are not there. Yeah.
I wanted to chip in quickly. I think that one of the difference is that I was very, very disappointed when I heard that all the panels, including Arsenal fans, said Chelsea are going to win. One of the most basic things about good teams is that they make it getting a result on their home ground is difficult. If we went to Chelsea and people were predicting that we're going to lose in Stamford Bridge, then I wouldn't care. But in the Emirates, on our home turf, home soil, we should make it extremely difficult for teams to come here, even to get a result. And we're not even fulfilling the basic things of what top teams do, and that's hard to be at home. And Arsenal are making huge mistakes here. And another problem that nobody seems to talk about is Edu. Now, Mikel Arteta, Edu is the one that recruits and signs the players. And Edu, if Arteta has to get sacked, Edu has to get sacked as well. Because remember, when Unai Emery got sacked, Rahul Sanheli got sacked as well. So Edu has to be shown the door as well. In terms of Emirates, every team can literally come to the Emirates and do what they want. Last season or 2 seasons ago, a Manchester United player was moonwalking on the Emirates, a moonwalk dance. Arsenal have become a joke at the Emirates. Forget about losing at Brentford away. At home, we have to be our strongest. We have to make it difficult for teams to come, and the fans need to back the players at home, especially when Saka fell into the box. The fans should have put pressure on the referee. Maybe the players can't because they'll get a yellow card, but the fans should have screamed and shout, and that sometimes put pressure on the referee to give a penalty, even though it's 50-50 that it may or may not be a penalty. So Arsenal fans need to drive on at the ref, but we're not doing that. If you go to Anfield, the fans are the 12 man. Referees are scared of Liverpool fans. They give Liverpool cheap penalties because they're scared of the fans. Arsenal need to make the fans and the players need to make Emirates a hostile place for visitors, and we're not doing that at the moment.
I think the fans are now almost not caring since we are dropping farther and farther.
Yeah.
You know what? That could be a point, Glenn, because there was a picture going on of how very slowly Arsenal fans were buying tickets for the Chelsea game. I don't know if you guys came up with that. Yeah. It's like fans are disinterested, and look, you know what? When we consider the second goal, I clapped for Rhys James because that was a beautiful goal. It was like I expected it. We were gonna concede. I didn't know it was gonna be a beauty like that, so I had to just clap. It's like you don't feel that that kind of connection anymore. You feel the pain when you lose, and you even don't want to talk to people. But it's at the end of the day, it's normal. It's usual. The club has been like this for 5 years. Like 5 years, no Champions League. 5 years, you lose. You lose so many games. The Emirates Stadium. I was talking to you, Glenn, last time, and I was like, do you think the Emirates Stadium is our problem? Because all our problems started with the Emirates Stadium. When we started building the stadium, we stopped investing into the club because we are building a stadium. So we had to groom young players, in the likes of Sombelong, Sami Nasri, and then we had to sell the same players that we've groomed again to build the stadium and finance the stadium. And now we don't win games in the stadium. I don't know. Maybe we should just get rid of the stadium.
But I did tell you, there's a couple of seasons Arsenal has actually finished unbeaten at the Emirates, the Fabregas days, at the Bayo days. We actually used to be very good. I remember beating Blackburn 7-2 at the Emirates, United 3-0 a couple of times. Like 2007, 2012, we used to be good. We beat Barcelona at the Emirates. So I don't think that was a major problem. I understand in terms of not signing players, but West Ham have moved stadium. They've improved. Tottenham have moved stadium as well. So it's not just us that have moved stadiums. So I really don't. Brentford have moved stadiums and they've actually gotten promoted. So I don't really understand it. And the other thing I wanted to say as well is I remember telling you guys already, Arsenal, as usual, the first 3 games, what happens? We lose. And now how many points are we behind Chelsea? 6 points already. Don't be surprised if we don't see Chelsea again this season.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Which Chelsea's points this season.
I'm so happy. I'm so happy I've not put up my league rankings, my predictions, my league predictions. I've known. Like,
we'll never get teams like City and United again. Tottenham maybe, but already 6 points ahead, and that is what I was saying. Why wait to sign the likes of Odegaard when you've already lost 3 games? It does not make sense to me. We've already been left by other teams. Now we have to chase already.
You know what's funny?
August.
You know what's funny? They told us before we lost to Brentford, Arsenal have to sell to buy. So when we lost to Brentford, we had sold Willock for 20 mil, and we brought in players for 50 mil. And it's like, okay, wait, we have to sell to buy. How come now we have spent 54 mil on 2 players? And we have already only sold, 1 for 20 million. I think they were trying to see, can we, if we had beaten Brentford, if only, look, listen, now, this is fine. If you had only beaten Brentford, we would only bring in, I think, a backup goalkeeper. I think only.
Now that we lost to Chelsea, maybe we can bring in another player.
Or maybe, and look, things, a big club shouldn't be run like this. But guys, again, as we log off, we have Project Mikel Arteta, the young players, the likes of Balogun. I want to do player ratings. I'm not going to be so harsh on them. The likes of Emile Smith-Rowe and Saka. This is a project. I think the project we are running, again, this is the pain we have to go through. I don't know for how long, but the likes of Smith-Rowe, Saka to develop, it's going to take time because you see they are very good players, but they're just young. That's it. They're just young and they need time to develop, and they need the support to develop. So thanks, guys, for coming on. It's been very great to have you on. Probably I can have you on for the fan forum. I don't know if it's possible. I would love to do a fan forum. I think tomorrow about the game.
No problem.
All right, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. See ya. Have a good day.
See ya. See you. Thank you so for coming. Thank you for coming on as well.